welcome back. The latest episode of the Giga Show. How have you been, man? How's Vegas treating you?
Um, Everything's been well, 2025, so the end of the ESPN era in UFC, so it's pretty cool to be here.
That is kind of awesome, and thank you for pointing that out. That this is the last event of the year, ESPN Plus, and you just happened to be the co-main event. So they wanted to make sure that co-main event was fire, that they brought it two solid strikers on paper. There's no way this isn't one of the best fights of the night, right?
I guess that's not surprise to me because, I started with the ESPN and I guess I'm gonna finish their era well. So I think they wanted me to be here on that spot and here we are. Giga Show is coming back again.
Yes. Speaking of the Giga Show, what was the reaction when you saw Kevin's name come across? Because you knew you have a guy who's going to stand there with you. He's willing to trade, more than happy to trade, and he'll match that energy. But also, you're putting your ranking on the line. A lot of respect for that. 'Cause some guys and girls won't do that, and you're right there showing everybody how it's done.
I don't look much of on the ranking spots right now because I know my spot. I know I'm a championship level fighter, and I have to do some stuff to become a champion. So I asked for Gene Silva, and obviously I look up his fights, and I saw the Kevin Vallejos fight as well with Gene Silva. So I was a little bit familiar. Plus he fought one of my teammates, Danny Silva. And after that, I was familiar with the kid. So I don't see that as he's an upcoming fighter. I don't think he's ready for the level that where I'm at. But I guess Saturday we're gonna see it, and I'm gonna send him back to kindergarten to come back later in a better. So he's young. He has a lot of career in the future. But right now, all my experience puts me in this position, and we got a plan for next year to do the big things. So, first thing first, take care of the business Saturday, and then we're back on. And you mentioned that he's more than ready and happy to trade. We'll see on that. That's what everybody's saying. That's what everybody's saying.
It's one thing to say it, right? But the other is to actually do it. Having
You guys
that,
saw my last fight, right?
yes, of course.
Guy was calling out many things. He would do this and that. After the first round, we saw what all he wanted. So that's not gonna be a surprise. And if he picks up the more grappling game, but I'm not putting any chance, and I'm finishing the fight in the first round.
Awesome, yes, sir. With that experience of having a former foe, you guys have tape on him. You know what to expect. He's coming up. You're already you're where he wants to be. How do you stay focused on this? How do you calibrate things correctly to take your experience, being in the big fights, being the main event here, and just be able to take that all together to put together something explosive, something phenomenal on Saturday?
I guess I'm a sniper fighter. I would call it more like that. Who calibrates his strikes really well, and we looked up his many video records, and I know what I have to do for this fight. So I've been dealing with similar type of fighters all my life, and I've closed the chapter multiple times. So I just have to. I just read my older book again, and here I am, and I'm ready for Saturday.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, what tricks are you bringing, or anything new, or did you do same things? Did you do the PI? Did you train here in Vegas with some gyms? Did you get a little altitude work with Mount Charleston? What did you do here?
No. I live in Huntington Beach, and I train in Orange County. So main concentration was to cut weight, because usually I carry a lot of weight, especially after my last fight. I had multiple procedures for from my last, like the long time injuries, so I take care of my body. I've been training with Cub Swanson, Tenny Silva, and all his boys, and I want to appreciate everyone who helped me. Also, my boy Benil Dariush, the Christian Rodriguez, Vinicius Sensi, everyone, the Chase Your Dreams conditioning program. Big respect also to Coach Yogi at Santos Studio, Classic MMA, everyone who supported me in this camp. And yeah, Orange County has been treating me very well. So I got also the really big news coming up. In 2026, I'm opening the karate, kickboxing, MMA dojo in Orange County, in Newport Beach, in Costa Mesa. And all my experience from growing up with hardcore karate, transitioning to Dutch styles kickboxing, and living in Holland, in Thailand, and moving here and transition this to MMA, I feel like for strikers, that's gonna be a gym that we can upgrade and specialize striking for MMA. So that's something that I was putting the work before the fight, but once the fight got scheduled, all my concentration is there. So I think it's a perfect timing. 13 December, my lucky number as well all my life.
Hey.
Get this W and then do some good stuff from the beginning of January.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. So officially 2026, what's the name of the gym, the dojo, the facility?
I'm gonna give you a couple of tries. What do you think? Yes, sir. It's a Giga Kick. So I feel like it's been a very signature move in my career. I've been using it in karate, in kickboxing, in MMA, and it was very successful. And I don't think there are a lot of fighters that they have a signature moves that they call it in a PlayStation game and the ESPN media and all around the world. So definitely that is something that some skills that I have it and I worked on. And that's a gym name as well. So make sure you guys check it out once it's opening. All the media, you guys are all welcome anytime. Yeah.
Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to that Giga Kick, and good luck on Saturday, sir.
Thank you very much.
And Giga Kick will be a full MMA gym, right? It's not just a kickboxing gym?
It's actually, for the kids, will be more, so I'm doing something unique, I'm opening the very traditional karate dojo that will be mixed with Dutch style kickboxing, but all that will be transitioned for the MMA striking as well. Because what I see today is in MMA, obviously there are very good fighters and strikers, but I feel there is a lack of kicking. And I definitely want to upgrade that for MMA. For kids, I feel like the karate is very good traditional martial arts, and last more than 20 years, karate had a bad reputation around the U.S., especially where I see it, and where I grew up and where I mastered pieced karate back since I was 4 or 5 years old was very different teaching of karate. So I'm bringing that type of real full contact karate from Okinawa and Goju-ryu, and then we're gonna be concentrating later for more adults as well, Dutch style kickboxing. And when you do that both together, the MMA striking, it's gonna be like for them like bread and butter. So, yeah.
No, that's great to hear, because I think we when we saw MMA start to make its way here, the people that were just strictly kickboxers or taekwondo fighters had a hard time transitioning into MMA. But now you have experience with MMA, so now you want to take that and be able to incorporate that with high-level kickboxing training for these kids at a young level.
Exactly. It took me a long, it took me, because when I was karate kid and moving in Holland, for the beginning, I was not successful. It took me a while to figure out my style, how to transition. And then after I became, you guys know, the couple of times world champion there. So then moving from there to coming here and doing MMA, it also took me a while, and I lost a couple of fights in the beginning of my career till I get to UFC, right? So that also took me a lot of transitioning, a lot of changes of style, because there are many things that you cannot bring that vibe in MMA, because once you exchange a couple of good shots, the guy might shoot and that's why the striking like K1 fights was really exciting, right? Because two guys would just stand and bang for 3 minutes. But MMA is more like, I would call it more politician game, which I love and I enjoy a lot.
Well, going back to your point on this one, Kevin Vallejos even said about earlier, he's like, he acknowledged your striking, but made it sound easy, that it was just a matter of closing the distance, and then that takes the striking kind of out of it. It's easy to say that, but it's tough to do that, correct? Like, I mean, if somebody thinks that they're just going to bypass your distance and your length, they'd be making a mistake to think that that's an easy thing to do, huh?
I love the confidence, I like that. That's why I gave him a chance to see what he's doing, what he can do it. But that's for me, I don't want to be a disrespectful one. That's for me like really good medium rare steak. So I love steaks.
Something that we're seeing for the first time in your career with the UFC, coming in on 2 losses. Is there extra pressure, or are you the kind that you take what you need from those fights and then they're done, and then you go into this fight and there is no extra pressure? Do you feel any extra pressure coming into this fight, not coming in on like a win streak or anything?
No, man, I enjoyed it. You guys, if you guys were around that COVID time, I was fighting in 2020 like 4 times a year. Next year, they're always busy. And this is what I love doing it. I love to be in a camp preparing for the fight. Unfortunately, at some point, like a couple of years, I had a lot of injuries, a lot of surgeries. So that's why you guys didn't see me a lot. But now I'm back, I'm excited. Today we have a lot of health hacks, right? Like all that superhuman protocols and stuff. So I'm 37, but I feel like 27, maybe even younger. So I can't wait. I'm sharp, I'm faster, I make weight easier this time. I don't know what to say. My reactions are great. So all these camps been really good.
Well, that's good, and I'm glad you acknowledged. You talk about the weight. The weight was your first time you missed last event, but coming in this fight week, everything feels good with the weight. No issues this week.
I don't want to blame anybody, but on my scale I made the weight. Yep. So I go there, another scale, and yep. In the end, when the guy was on a weight check, when he checked my weight, while the arrow was going, in the old school, he didn't even look at this. He had the nose that it was Giga was that weight. So I don't know. It is what it is. It was my first time in my life. Was 0.3 or 4, something like that. It's like literally like my credit card. Like probably like this is heavier than what I'd missed the weight, right? So all good. The guy got extra 20%. It didn't feel good to me, but that's why I'm much lower this time.
Do you wish the UFC would go to digital scales as opposed to the old school methods?
I don't know. It's their way to do it. Probably it would be better, but I don't know. It's really hard because you have a scale in your room. Then you go to the training room. Maybe it's a little different. Yep. And sometimes it's the same. Sometimes it's different. It works every day. You need to recalculate, I guess, and reset it. So no big deal.
Yep.
It's all right.
And then on Saturday, what are your keys to the victory? What needs to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised in victory?
I just have to be the Giga. I just have to be my 100%. I have to feel my best, and that is the miracle I'm gonna tell you, because you guys know my skills already. I can deal with anybody. I just have to be healthy, and I feel healthy. So I just have from Wednesday to Saturday, I have to make sure I don't get injured and everything goes smooth. That's all.
And then if you finish with the Giga kick, you got to let out like a Giga kick so you could use it for your
Every
gym
kick
advertising.
is a Giga kick from me. Every kick is a Giga kick, whatever I throw. So I definitely have a one way shown, but I have a multiple other ways. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a fun one.
Last one I was going to ask you is about your the naming on your Instagram. Your account name is Knockout Cancer. At first, I thought there was maybe a relationship with cancer, or is it just you knock people out and you're like a cancer? What's the story behind the name there?
It's I have a my mom passed away from cancer, and after that I founded a charity fund called Knockout Cancer. That's pretty much we try to help others, and we reached over 300 people so far. So
That's
that's
incredible.
something that I don't talk much about that, and because this is deep in my heart, something that I will be doing all my life. You know. And no one is making money from this. It's just whatever I make money from the fighting, there is always the percent and always a portion goes there. And besides that, whoever supports, straight goes to the patients who supports us, so, who wants to help somebody. You know? Yeah, that's all.
That's incredible. Is there a website, or how would you direct somebody that wants to learn more about the Knockout Cancer?
There should be the website, and whoever usually contacts me, I put them in my sister's. My sister runs it, so me and my family we run it. So nobody's involved. Somebody hired, something like that, and then we take a look how real it is, because a lot of time been scammed. We got scammed a few times.
Yeah.
So we make sure that that's the right thing, and it's always a small portion, you know. It's not like the huge, but whatever we can, we're happy to be a small part in that, you know.
That's incredible. I thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. I think that's wonderful to hear. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All good, team? Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah.